Unit 2, Lesson 1. So that's what the 2.1 means. Unit 2, Lesson 1, decimals. I can understand and say decimal numbers correctly. You do not need to write this, but I do want you to draw your line down. Why do we need to understand decimals? Decimal numbers allow you to write very precise values. In sports, the difference between first place and second place sometimes depends on the decimal. You could lose or win by 1/10 of a second. So on your paper, I want you to draw 2 horizontal lines, just like mine. I want you to add 2 vertical lines like these. We're going to write the decimal point here. When you say the decimal point, you actually say the word and. To the right this way, the values get smaller. To the left this way, the values will get larger. So what I'd like you to do is to get this picture in your notes right now. So we wrote the word and, now go do tenths, hundredths, notice the ending, thousandths, compared to ones, tens, hundred, thousands, and 10,000s. Stop the video now so you can get this drawn in. So the idea is, how do we say numbers? We would say this 3 and 2 hundredths because it ends at the hundredths place. This one we would say 145 and, think of this having a comma right here, 1,068 10,000ths. So wherever it ends is what we say. Try the last one yourself. Did you say 24 and 79 thousandths? Let's draw your line down. Order, and we're going to do from least to greatest. So we have 2 steps. Step number 1, you are going to line up the decimal places, or line up the decimal point. So maybe instead of places, we say point. 2, we're going to start left and move right until you find different digit place values. That'll make sense in a minute. I just need you to write it. All right, so we have these numbers. So the first thing I want you to do is take the number. So I want you to write 0.409. And then right underneath it, line up that decimal point. So now you have 4.092. And then put this one right underneath on your paper. So you can see how I lined up the decimal point. So now, in the tens or in the ones place, we have a 4, so they're all equal. In the tenths place, we have a 0, so they're all equal. In the hundredths place, we have a 9 and an 8. Remember, we're going least to greatest, so what's smaller, the 8 or the 9? Well, the 8 is. So our first number is 4 and 89 thousandths. Remember, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Next, so now we cross this one off because it's gone. We have to look between these two. Well, the 9s are in the same place. So now we look between these. Well, this would be like a 0. So a 0 is smaller than a 2. So we have 4.09 or 4 and 9 hundredths. And then we have 4.092 or 4 and 92 thousandths. So let's try the next one. Go ahead and stop the video and line them up. Come back when you think you have your answer. Okay, welcome back. We lined up our decimal points. So this is something, you should have something like this. And I'm going to go through and cross off. Everything in the ones place is the same. So now I look at the tens place. Well, 0 is the smallest, so that has to be the smallest number. So that one's gone. Now the 4 is the next smallest, so that would be next. And then the 7. We have just put them in order from least to greatest. Last one, give it a try. All right, welcome back. Let's line up our decimal points. And in this one, we would have 3 and 59 thousandths, 3 and 64 hundredths, 3 and 46 hundredths. Okay, the 3 is the same. Ooh, in this one, the 0 is the smallest, so that would be our first number, and then we get rid of it. Now we have between a 6 and a 4. We don't even have to look over here. 6 and a 4, the 4 is the next smallest one. And the last one then, and there we go, least to greatest. Now we're going to use the less than, the equal to, and the greater than. So I want you to write these three signs, and above them I want you to write the words. This is less than, this is equal, and this is greater. One way to remember these, and I know your teachers in elementary school said the alligators, well, the less than sign, if you put your left hand up, you make the L, and that makes the less than sign. So again, we need to put them, we just need to say which one is smaller. So I'm going to line up my decimals just to double check. Well, the zeros are the same, the 5s are the same, the 4 is smaller. So the 4 has to be less than the 6, so the 6 is bigger. So yes, make your alligator eat the bigger number. So 56 hundredths is greater than 543 thousandths. Go ahead and try this one. All right, let's take a look. We have 3.8, same. The 8 is bigger, so I need to make the alligator eat it. So 3 and 18 hundredths is smaller or less than 3.8, or 3 and 18.